Hello and welcome to the D5200 channel, the channel that we hope you'll visit whenever you want to know about the Nikon D5200, the new camera. We are looking at menus today. We've had a quick look through the playback menu and the shooting menu and the custom settings, and now in this video we're going to have a quick look through the setup menu. The setup menu is really devoted to sorting out the camera to how you want it to work for you. So let's have a quick look at it now. Okay, well, let's have a look at the setup menu. The setup menu is basically designed to give you the options to set up the camera pretty much how you want it to work within certain reasons. So here we are, we're looking at the back of the Nikon D5200, and in order to get to any of the menu options you press the menu button at the top left hand of the camera. The setup menu is the fourth one down, and in order to move from the right hand column where you are now to the left-hand column or the main column and actually navigate up and down that setup menu, you use the multi-selector tool here and you press the right-hand arrow. And there we are. The first one is to format the memory card. Now that's really recommended if you get a new memory card or if you have put a new memory card into your camera. Most memory cards these days are formatted or will be formatted in a way that the camera will understand, but why take the risk? It's easier just to format it within the camera and make sure that they're both compatible with each other. The one below that is the monitor brightness. The monitor is here, and you can change the brightness beyond 0 to either +3 or -3 in instance of 1, and that really is down to personal preference. The info display format. Well, the info display is what we saw right at the beginning before we pressed the menu button, and there are various formats for that display, some more graphical than others, and obviously that's down to personal choice. The auto info display, which is on here, is really just telling the camera that that's what you want to see. If you switch that off, then you just get a blank screen there rather than any of the info that was being displayed. Below that is the procedure to clean the image sensor. That's something that we will go into in some detail later on. We'll go back and look at all of these later on, but things like cleaning the image sensor, which obviously is quite important, we will do in some detail. As obviously locking the mirror up for cleaning, that's also another thing that we need to look at closely. And the image dust off reference photo, that is also something that we'll have to look at a bit more closely. That is basically where you take a white image, a white picture, so that the camera can identify if or where there is any dust within the camera or in the lens to make sure that it recognises that and then negates it in your photographs. It's quite complicated for the uninitiated, so look out for that video if you feel you're going to need that. Video mode, of course, allows you to go and choose your video mode, and HDMI is one of the protocols by which you can get your video onto TVs. Flicker reduction, I think, probably speaks for itself, and now we're going into those areas which we may have influenced or used when we were setting up the camera initially. But if you wish to change time zone and date, if you wish to change language, then that's where you can do that. Image comment is an option whereby you can actually go in and type in comments for each of the images that you have taken, if that's what you wish. And auto image rotation is just something which automatically rotates the image so that it's upright, regardless of how you have the camera, whether you have that as a landscape or a portrait shaped camera. In other words, you've got it upright or landscape. The accessory terminal is talking about the terminals on both sides, which allows you to plug in accessories, and also the one on the top. And the wireless mobile adapter, which we don't have fitted here, would be going into the side of the camera again. And finally, the firmware version allows you just to know what version of firmware you have in the camera. Obviously, as the age of the camera and the progression of the camera moves along, there may well be some firmware updates issued by Nikon, and we will show you at some point how to download those from Nikon and how to upload those from Nikon from your computer into your camera. So these are the setup options in the setup menu. As you can see, there are quite a few of them, but they are quite simple and they are really quite straightforward, and they're more to do, as I say, with the mechanics of the camera rather than the pictures that you intend to take with them. So when you look at the menu options, which as I say you'll see here, you will see that there are 6 icons on the left hand side, but there are in fact only 5 menu options. The bottom one is a particularly handy one, and that is recent settings. So instead of you having to claw your way through all the menu settings to try and find white balance or to try and find filter effects or what have you, you can actually go back to recent settings, which is the bottom icon on the left hand side, and it will show you the last 20 things that you looked at. It's just a quick way of getting around, oops, not like that though, it's just a quick way of getting around and looking at those things or reassigning those things that you have most recently dealt with. And that's a very useful little tool and a very clever shortcut that allows you to get back to those settings that you have just been changing or manipulating, and either manipulate and change them further or reset them back to what they were before.